And spawning over here in the bottom right-hand corner as the green Terran player, ladies and gentlemen, representing Mouse Esports. Very fast 11-11 in game number 1, taking his opponent completely off guard. What has he got in plan here on Akelon Waste? We have LucifroN. His opponent, winner of the Dutch StarCraft League, but going down very, very hastily in game number 1. Tried to pull off a hero hold there, not quite able to do so, but put up a hell of a fight. Let's see if he can come back in game 2. We have, representing Fnatic, it is Harstem.
Now, one important thing to note is all they're battling out for here is the first place spot.
Yeah.
So both these two players are going to be going into Group Stage 3.
Oh, that's true, because they've beaten their other opponents as well, haven't they?
Yeah, they've won their previous 2 games 2-0. Okay, so it's not that it doesn't matter though, because the first or second spot in a group is going to mean the difference between going up against someone like StarTale's Life.
Ooh, that could be tough.
Or going up against someone who is still very, very, very good.
Yeah, that's a good point. It's basically between a rock and a hard place, but if one of those rocks has a name called StarTale Life, you probably want to avoid that one given the chance. And we have got the double gas coming down now for Harstem after the gateway. Note that he is not going to be sending out a probe scout just yet, so feeling pretty confident that LucifroN isn't going to do the same thing 2 games in a row maybe, but that would be correct. LucifroN getting his gas mining. It looks like we're going to have a Reaper opening coming out from him.
Now, a Reaper opening on this map actually is okay. The key benefit, though, is getting the scouting information off. Really, because it is quite large. There is a little bit of cliff area to utilise. It's
not an awful lot.
It's not a Star Station or a Neoplanet S, but
no.
It does mean you can get over and get that scouting information. Notice Harstem, though. He's not even scouting this game.
Yeah, he seems pretty determined not to do that at the moment. And we've got a second
double
barracks coming
Reaper
down from LucifroN. We could indeed have that double Rax Reaper coming down here. And, well, I think LucifroN maybe using Harstem's expectations of a long macro game to his advantage here, really. Game number 1, once it wasn't scouted, was almost a free win for LucifroN, even though Harstem put up a hell of a fight. And game number 2 here, he again is doing something a little bit unorthodox, and Harstem knows nothing about it.
And all while Harstem is unaware, it can catch him off guard, just as what happened in game 1 with that proxy 11-11 2-Rax. If you're not expecting it, it could be a problem. The Zealot wasn't skipped this time, but Zealots aren't really that good against Reapers. Mothership cores are, though. So that's going to help push it back, but of course the second Rax is there, so it's not just a single Reaper that Harstem may think it is.
And the Reaper is going to get pushed back. Still more being produced right now. We can see Reapers number 2 and 3 coming out, and the natural expansion is going to go down on the low ground. So he'll be joining up with his brethren. Nice little pick off there of the probe from that Reaper. Reapers number 2 and 3 are going to come and try and make life as annoying as possible right now for Harstem.
There's even Reapers 5 and 6. This is an exercise in counting. If you are...
Or 4 and 5, speaking of exercise and counting.
4 and 5, indeed. That was embarrassing. But anyway, additional Reapers coming out.
Yes.
And this is something... Now you've seen 3 Reapers, you should know that it's 2 Rax producing that, not obviously just...
He's not going full Morrow.
He's not going full Morrow mode, but it's still actually quite a bit of pressure coming in. And following up from this, LucifroN is using the map dominance he's getting from these Reapers to take 2 command centers up simultaneously. This is really important because it's going to give him a good economical backup to this while he transitions out of it. So it's just going to be the 5 Reapers, and they're going to come pushing in and really try and do a nice little bit of damage.
Alright, 5 Reapers as opposed to 5 Rax Reaper coming in from LucifroN here. The Mothership Core from Harstem is staying put in the main base. The Nexus doesn't see the Reapers yet, of course, because its vision range isn't very large. But I think he's waiting for the probes to possibly get transferred, and the Reaper is actually coming very close to picking apart that Zealot there. The probes are indeed going to get transferred, and almost picking off the Sentry, so close, and keeping all 5 Reapers alive. Really, really well done. Harstem now has the probes over at the natural. Do we have enough energy for that photon overcharge? Yes, we do. So can these Reapers force that early uses of energy from that Mothership Core?
We'll have to wait and see, but Harstem behind this, he's getting up his robotics base, so he's going to be taking straight up into Colossi. Meanwhile, LucifroN, he's just going really economically focused for the time being. There's the photon overcharge. Not 100% sure he needed to trigger that, but rather be safe than sorry. And
definitely.
Well, Stim coming down for LucifroN, he's just going into, dare I say, pretty standard play.
Yeah, he's lost one of the Reapers so far, which is not that big a deal as long as he can continue to be active on the map with the other 4 and possibly scout. Like you mentioned, these Reapers are really good for scouting, but hasn't spotted anything inside the main base yet. He's instead been preferring to focus on damage dealing,
nice stalker
and one of those is going down once again. Great positioning on the Stalkers there from Harstem.
So the first Colossus is in production. Meanwhile, over at LucifroN's base, we can just see a good number of, well, Marines, couple of engineering bays on the way down. Very, very normal play at the moment from LucifroN, who's definitely wanting to go into the later stages of this game. After putting a little bit of pressure, all the Mothership Core going a little out of position, these Reapers are probably going to get a probe or two.
Now, is he going to try and commit to going up on the cliff to see if he can spot the tech? He is not. So LucifroN still doesn't know what's coming at him inside the main base. We're screwed, says one of the Reapers there. Just about getting away, though, from that Mothership Core in the middle of the map. Should be okay, no problem. These Colossi, though, are going to be a big problem, and Harstem is keeping them well hidden inside his main base. The Reapers can't jump up this cliff, by the way, it's too high. They have to go via here, which is why Harstem's put his army here, and these Colossi coming out might be able to catch LucifroN by surprise.
Yeah, there's always the option for a scan, though. That's something which I'm in some ways surprised LucifroN hasn't gone for, because he does have that third orbital command. So he does have quite a decent amount of energy ready to go for it if needed. But instead just feeling quite confident with what he's doing. He does have the starport coming down, but of course these really early Colossi, before the starport's even done, means that LucifroN is going to have to either pick going for a couple of medevacs or getting the Vikings out.
The investment in these early Reapers, of course, cost gas. And as a direct result of that, I mean, medevacs are inevitably going to be slightly later than you otherwise would expect them in a game like this, simply because of that early commitment. And it looks like that probe is going to get taken out. And, ooh, the Reaper, I think, did see, just for a split second, the Colossus coming out there. And 2 additional bunkers going down. Now, do we have extended thermal lance? I don't think we do yet. And a lot of stuff currently being gathered around these bunkers, and indeed there's no extended thermal lance right now.
So that means the Marauders are at equal range with this bunker with good force field. Harstem is able to knock it down. There's no bunker support. 2 Colossi can do some really nice damage. Great time warp there as well. And actually this is looking fantastic for Harstem here.
Yeah, that time warp was superb.
He's knocking out so much of this infantry. The single Marauder is the only real threat to these Colossi, which have taken no damage. And Harstem has pumped through so hard. And GG! Ooh!